Hi guys, this is Terry with Futures IO. First, if you're interested in donating to the Red Cross in support of the Ecuadorian earthquake, then please feel free to visit this link and make a donation there. Now, it is my honor to welcome Dave Force for today's webinar. He has a presentation on an overview of DTN's IQFeed. If you have questions, you can type them in the question box, and we'll do our best to answer them at the end of the event. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do us a favor and give us a thumbs up. If you enjoy the webinar, it really helps a lot. Also, feel free to share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Without further delay, I'll hand it over to Dave.
Okay, thank you, Terry. My name is Dave Force. I'm with DTN. Our website is www.iqfeed.net. Up here is also our Twitter address if you'd like to follow us on Twitter. I'm the Sales and Business Development Manager. I work with individual investors and companies like futures.io.
Hey, Dave, you should get a pop-up to share your screen.
Pardon? Oh.
Sorry, you should get a pop-up to share your screen. There it goes.
Okay, yeah, I did. Can you see it?
Yes.
An overview of DTN and IQFeed?
Yep, looks good.
Okay. First of all, I want to welcome Big Mike and all of the Futures.io members and future members. On the IQFeed website, this is how we list Futures.io, the best futures trading community on the planet. Over 75,000 members, many of which are IQFeed users. It's short and to the point. Of course, what could be more exciting than a webinar on a data feed? We hopefully, I can keep you awake here. I actually started with DTN back in 1993. Before that, I was a stockbroker. Was not quite as successful as Leo here. I started in 1987. I was actually going through training during the October crash. Before that, I did some encyclopedia sales, knocking on doors, with some mixed success. I could always pretty much get my foot in the door, but sometime that was it. When I started, we provided everybody with a satellite dish because at the time in 1993 there was virtually no internet. We shipped out, depending on where you lived, a 30-inch to a 1-meter diameter dish. You'd have to set that dish outside and point the satellite to point the dish to the satellite in the sky, which was pretty much right above the equator, straight south of the southern tip of Texas. There wasn't any nice color screens. We started everybody out with a monochrome screen, and that screen sat on a little control box about a foot square with 3 toggle switches on the front, and you had to manually program all of your symbols using a 5-digit code. Every 6 months we sent out a new book of every symbol, all the stocks, all the futures, all the options that we provided data on. And our tech support group spent a lot of time. People would call in and ask, hey, what's the symbol of this new stock that just started trading within the last few months? There was no texting, there was no downloading. Everything as far as the 5-digit codes were, either we had to give it to them over the phone or they had to look it up in their big book that we sent out to them. When we first started, all the data was delayed. Stocks were 15 to 20-minute delayed. Futures were 10 to 30-minute delayed, depending on the exchange. Who is DTN? These are our founding, oh no, that's the group who. Actually in 1984, the founder of the company was working for a grain company here in Omaha, and a lot of the farmers wanted to know the price of the grain before they did any buying or selling, so he devised a way of getting pricing to them right on the farm. He started the DTN, which actually, when at the beginning we transmitted data by FM, so they'd have to install an antenna, usually on top of the water tower in town, and then they would put an antenna on top of their barn. Eventually, we rented space on a satellite, Galaxy 4 satellite, which was, as I mentioned, located right above the equator. And at that time, we would ship out a dish, and then they'd put the dish on top of their barn. You see the cable sitting there. They'd run a cable from the dish on the roof into that receiver box, and then the monitor would sit on top of that box. With the satellite, as I mentioned, they started out with a monochrome screen. Eventually, we did go to a color screen. When we first started, we did a lot of advertising on CNBC, Investment Business Daily, Stocks and Commodities Magazine, and many others. Now, we don't do that type of advertising. Most of our customers come from our partners like Futures.io. Once we got to the color system, a lot of people actually started buying their own personal computers. So we devised a way that you could take the data from that box that we had, run a cable to your personal computer, and pass through the data into your computer. Along with the internet, we were able to go from providing data to people that could pick up the data with a satellite dish, which was mostly just the continental U.S. and the southern part of Canada, to anywhere in the world as long as you had an internet connection. Because all of these customers were now getting data all over the world over the internet, there was a boom in third-party software development. So, for example, here's you've probably seen before a monochrome screen. And I don't know if you notice in the picture here, Leo actually had his monochrome screen when he was trading. Most people now do use at least a couple screens, and some even more than that. Little history on the DTN, the company. As I mentioned, we started in 1984. It was called Data Line, or Data Transmission Network. Most people know us as DTN. We traded on NASDAQ under the symbol DTLN. In the year 2000, there was a hostile takeover. An investment group called VSA purchased DTN and got rid of the starter of the company and the CEO. In 2008, a Spanish company called Telvent purchased DTN for $444.5 million, and then a French company in 2011 called Schneider Electric, trades on the Paris exchange under the symbol SU, purchased the company for $1.3 billion. The original workers and myself were still in Omaha, Nebraska. A few other things we do besides providing IQFeed data. We have a full market data feed called NCore. This is our institutional feed. IQFeed subscribers are able to watch anywhere from 500 to 1,800 symbols at a time. Occasionally somebody wants to watch the whole market. They do market scanning on stocks and so on. Or if they're a large company and they have hundreds of brokers, for example, they're going to have that institutional feed. We also have a commercial weather service out of our Omaha office. This started many years ago. A lot of farmers, of course, want weather information in addition to grain prices and futures and so on. And that weather service is now the largest private weather service in the country. It provides data for a lot of cities, emergency services, transportation, schools, sports, NCAA, Major League Baseball, the PGA are all using our weather system. And they are trying to expand that worldwide now that Schneider Electric has purchased DTN. Agricultural technology, over 30 years of working with farmers. We have many specialized tools for farmers. We have a daily market report, we have a magazine, we have in-house analysts, and we also have a large refined fuels department about 80% of all crude oil, natural gas, gasoline that moves from point A to point B anywhere in the world is tracked by the DTM refined fuel system. What is IQFeed? IQFeed is the professional market data for serious traders. You would download the IQFeed client software. That'll link the data from the internet into your software program. Your software could be one of 50 of the commercially sold compatible programs. You can also feed our data directly into an Excel spreadsheet, or if you are a software developer, we have an API and you can write your own software and make your software compatible with our data feed. Primarily the thing to remember is our data is fast, clean, complete, and reliable. If you don't take anything else away from this webinar, please remember these 4 things. Data is fast. You don't want to be behind the market when you're trading. The data is clean. We don't miss ticks. We don't send out bad ticks. The data is complete. We send out all ticks. We don't bundle them together, send them out on a refresh cycle. We don't skip sending out data when the markets get busy or anything like that. And it is reliable. We don't go down in fast markets, and we don't slow down when the market gets busy. Little more detailed information, our ticker plant actually processes 860,000 messages per second on average. Sometime that peaks to 7 million messages per second. Every day for our historical data feed, we store 300 million ticks. We have multiple 10G circuits between the exchange, the ticker plant, and the internet. So our customers in over 90 countries excuse me, that are using IQFeed data are able to trade real-time markets. So it doesn't matter if you're here in Omaha, Nebraska, Chicago, New York, London, Paris, or even Sydney, Australia, you're receiving fast data. It's kind of a visual demonstration. Other data, IQFeed data. All right, clean data, dedicated market data analysts. They're watching our data continually and our competitors' data. We want to make sure that under no circumstances is anybody else's data providing ticks or coming out faster than we are. We do have a group of developers. That's all they do is work on that IQFeed client software I mentioned earlier. Make all the bug fixes, performance enhancements to make sure that the data continually comes out. So of course, if you do have clean data, you are happier. Obviously, she's not real happy with her dirty water, but of course you're happy when you have clean data. The data is complete, true tick-by-tick data stream. As I mentioned, we do not bundle the data or send it out on a refresh cycle. Some places receive data and then they might send it out every 2 or 3 seconds or even 1 second. Well, during that time, especially with CME Mini, a lot of your other futures data, there's going to be more than one trade during that 1 second. So if you're using Rencos or tick charts or market profiles, you're going to want to make sure that you do have every tick so that your charts are accurate and true. Data feed includes historical data, no extra charge. You receive currently 180 days of tick history, 7 to 10 years of minute history, and 15 years of daily history. The intraday is back-adjusted continuation data on futures, so you can do a little back testing. We do include streaming real-time news. 4 news feeds come with the service. These are going to include Real-Time Trader, PR Newswire, stands for press release. Business Wire is also included. This is a service that Berkshire Hathaway owns, which is also an Omaha company. Benzinga Pro was just added this year. This is a $30 to $35 value at no extra charge. So every day you are receiving over 1,000 stories a day. Benzinga Pro is used as a source on a Fox Business, Wall Street Journal, CNBC. With their Pro, you get faster news. Primarily their Pro desk is going to filter out all the noise so that you only are receiving important coverage that is actually moving the markets. Accurate data from Benzinga. Their professional service offers the most reliable data on Wall Street. Fast and accurate. Sounds familiar. Reliable. IQFeed is reliable. Our fully redundant data centers include over 120 servers supporting IQFeed users. So we could actually lose an entire data center and still be able to serve 100% of our customers. I'm repeating this, but we do have traders in over 90 countries that are relying on our data to trade every day. So if there's a power grid outage, a tornado, or other event, again, we'll be able to still service our customers. There are over 800 software developers that have written to our data feed. 50 of those are sold commercially. So you have written programs that you can use with IQFeed, either purchased or ones that you get on your own. The data that is available on IQFeed, exchange data like U.S. and international futures. Most futures.io members are trading one of these markets. We also carry U.S. and Canadian, and now we're adding in the process the LSE equities. We have those in-house, and some people are beta testing those. We plan to have that out on the 1st of June. Equity options, Forex data. For our Forex traders, we do have a new $30 per month Forex only feed. So if you don't care about any stocks or any futures, you're only looking at Forex, you don't have to get the base service and add it on. You can have a service that has Forex only data for just $30 a month. Data includes indexes, and now because we've added the LSE exchange, we now have the FTSE indexes. Interest rate data provided by Cantor. That gives you all the treasury rates, yield curves, and we include the DTN calculated breadth indicators, things like tick, trend, advanced decline. There's about 785 other calculated indicators that we update, and nobody updates these faster than we do, but these are all updated every 1 second. Other important information about IQFeed. We do have 24/5 tech support. Starts on Sunday about 4 o'clock in the afternoon until Friday at 6 p.m. This is the best in the business tech support. They're available by phone, email, online chat. If you call them either on the toll-free number or the direct line, you almost always get someone to pick up on the first ring. They are also very familiar with those 50 software companies that are compatible with our data feed. Most software companies provide email support, which means if you're in the middle of a trade and your chart's not updating, you have to send your software company an email, and then 24 hours later they send you an email back. Obviously that's not real good if you're in the middle of a trade. So our tech support will support most of the software vendors that are compatible with our feed, get you back up and running right away. We've gone from a time in sales where it lists all the historical trades. We used to do that every second. That wasn't good enough. Then we switched to millisecond, and now we have microsecond on all of our time in sales information. A new tick indicator. The New York Stock Exchange tick, there's a couple different ways that that's calculated. We used to only calculate it using including the regional quotes. When you include the regional quotes, it gets more of a range on the tick indicator. Most other tick indicators eliminate the regional, so we now have 2 tick indicators available for the NYSE. You can use either one, whichever you prefer. We do have a Mac installer coming soon. Most of our data right now and most of our software works only on a Windows-based program. So with the Mac installer, obviously a lot of people are out there using Macs only. We'll be able to provide data for them also. 24/7 account management portal. This means that you don't need me for everything. If you wanted to add or delete exchanges or another premium service, change your credit card, pull an old statement for tax purposes, or even add another subscription or cancel a subscription, you can do that all online right now. We also have part of the non-professional Globex waiver, and this is real important for futures traders. The Globex consists of the Chicago Merc, Chicago Board of Trade, COMEX, and NYMEX. Real-time exchange fees could be as high as $91 for each one of these 4 exchanges, or a total of $364 a month. Now, if you are a non-professional and you're an active trader and you're feeding our data into a software program that links to your broker, so you're able to place trades directly through that software, then instead of that $364 a month, if you're approved, these exchange fees will total just $3 per month. So if you currently have our service and you're interested in finding out if you qualify and could get approved, please give me a call and we'll help you reduce your exchange fees. Basically, we're almost done with the detail part of the webinar. Yay! IQFeed pricing. We have regular monthly rates, and then there is a futures.io special you probably are aware of. But normally we offer a 7-day free trial. We have a $50 startup fee. The base rate of IQFeed is $75 a month. If you were to add real-time futures, that adds another $20 per month, plus exchange fees. The futures.io special, futures.io members receive a 14-day free trial. There is no startup fee. And you do get half price for the first 3 months on the base service and half price on any additional IQFeed service, plus exchange fees. We can't do anything about them, but of course, if you're trading the Globex futures, we can get that exchange fee down to as little as $3 per month. So obviously you can save a lot of money using the futures.io special. After that first quarter, you can go to our regular month-to-month with the regular rates. You can stay quarterly payment plan, but then your fees would go up to regular rates. Or you can switch to an annual prepayment. It's not quite as good as the original 50% off, but you do get a 20% discount when you go annually. Be sure to contact me before the end of that first quarter. We'd like to get you switched to either the annual or the monthly plan, because it makes no sense to pay quarterly at regular rates, and that is the default if you don't do anything. For a free trial of IQFeed, you can go to our website, www.iqfeed.net, and if you put in the /futures.io, not .io, but just futures.io, then that'll enable you for the 14-day trial and the special pricing. So when you get to the website, right in the middle of the screen, there's a list that says it's headed by About IQFeed, and about the third item down, it says Get Free Trial Now. So click on that free trial link, and you can do that anytime, 24/7. You don't have to only sign up now during market hours. If you do need help or have any questions, feel free to contact me. My 800 number, direct number, email address, and we do have online chat just from our website, www.iqfeed.net. You can put the /futuresIO in there if you're just looking to chat, not necessary. We do also have links from the home page for sales, which I am in, tech support, if you need any help on either the data feed or software, or we also have a link in there for billing, so you can ask questions to anybody in our billing department right from that same link. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast. I generally do. I hope I didn't confuse you. I assume that everything is all clear now. I guess in summary, there's either non-IQFeed data or there's IQFeed data. We found that if you use slow data, if you use data that's not clean, if you use data that's incomplete or unreliable, might end up making some bad trades based on that. And then, you just might end up spending your vacation at Motel Nowhere. But if you're trading with IQFeed, fast, clean, complete, and reliable data, you're more likely going to be spending your vacations in a little nicer digs. So if you need any more information or want to sign up for the free trial, we also have a lot of information on the website, www.iqfeed.net/futures.io. I want to thank you for your time. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer those if I can.
Okay. All right. First, what are IQFeed's plans for the Osaka-based Nikkei Mini?
That's become really popular. We've gotten a lot of requests probably in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I think somebody did a webinar where they mentioned that's highest traded E-mini out there. Right now, it's not in the real foreseeable future. However, the way that we add exchanges is based on a demand cost justification. So if I receive 100 emails and I can put that on the lists and say, hey, a request for this exchange, a request for this exchange, and so on, it'd be more likely that we could get that added. If I can show that we're going to add X number of customers by adding this exchange, and this exchange costs X number of dollars, there has to be obviously a justification to add it. So, feel free to email me or a call or get on chat or any way you want. The more requests we have, obviously the easier it is to make a case to add it. Right now, it is not on the horizon. Like I said, we had it received a couple of weeks ago, a lot of requests, but actually nothing in the last, this week at all.
Okay. What is the source of your Forex data feed?
We have 2 different sources. We have our basic Forex data feed, which comes from FXCM, and that's the $30 per month program. If you already have our data service and you are trading futures or stocks and you want to add that basic Forex data, is $25 a month. And this is it's not the same FXCM feed that you can go online and get. It is a higher level, so you're getting a little better a view of the market. Then we do also have a premium of Forex data feed from a company called 10-4. And they basically have about 30 different contributors. One of the contributors is FXCM, but with those 30 contributors, you can get a quote, a composite quote, where they take all of these contributors and give you kind of like a best bid and ask scenario, or you can also get what's called an average quote, where they'll average out all the bids and asks and give you a quote that way. The 10-4 feed, which is our premium Forex data feed, adds an extra $50. You can either add that to a current IQFeed service that you might have now with futures, or if you were going to do the Forex only feed, it would add 50 onto that 30. So basically you can get a premium Forex feed for the $80 per month.
Okay. Let's see. How do you roll the front month futures contract into a continuous symbol? In
You
other
mean what?
words, when does that occur? When the trading volume changes from one front month to another, or when the contracts are set to expire?
Yeah, each individual contract has its own set of rules. If you go to the website, iqfeed.net, and you click on Symbol Guide, it'll list all the different futures, and it won't just give their symbol, but it'll tell you how they roll. Some of them will say, it rolls 2 days before the end of the month, or this one might be a week before, or this one might roll on that same day. So there's kind of an industry standard based on the different contracts. So whatever that is how they roll them.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't memorize those, but those are on the website listed there.
Okay. Can you please explain again which broker is partnered for non-professional qualifying?
Yeah, there's 2 parts to it. You have to have our data feeding into a quote-unquote qualified software, and then that software has to link into a quote-unquote qualified broker. Those are also listed on our website. If you're go to that same About IQFeed and click on CME waiver, there's a listing of maybe, I'm guessing, 20 software programs, and then a listing of maybe 30 or 40 brokers. And now, just because the software is listed there and the broker is listed there doesn't necessarily mean that that software works with that broker. So before you open up the account and you say, hey, I use multi-chart software, or I use NinjaTrader, can I trade from my software through you? Most likely they'll be able to, but there's a few of those that say, oh, we work with most softwares, but we don't work with IQ Broker, or they haven't set it up yet or something. So you want to make sure that your software and your broker are both qualified. And then once you have the account and you actually have done some trades, then you can you'd qualify as an active trader, and that's only a couple trades a month. You don't have to be trading 10 times a day or anything. And if you're actively trading, then the way it works is your broker would actually go online, and there's a form that he fills out. It takes him about 30 seconds, just has to click a few boxes. That form, he'll enter your IQFeed user ID number, and that form gets submitted to the exchange. And usually within an hour, the exchange, after they look at the form, they'll notice that, oh, okay, this guy's non-professional active trader. They will then email us, and they'll say that your user ID 455222 qualifies for the Globex fee waiver. So instead of us having to charge them $91 per exchange, you can charge them $3 and give them all 4 of those exchanges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Why does Eurex history only have one back month, a 1 month back?
Eurex tick history should have 180 days. During market hours, we limit the amount of tick history that you can pull from our servers to 8 days. And we limit the amount of historical data that you can pull while you're on a free trial. But after the free trial, if you're a full subscriber, you should be able to pull the full 180 days of tick history on the year X. I assume you're probably looking at the DAX futures or something, but that should be available. If you are a subscriber and you're having problems doing that, contact our tech support. Maybe there's a setting that's throttling that back for some reason.
Okay. Is there an advanced decline line for the Dow Composite and NASDAQ 100?
I'm 99% sure there is, but I couldn't tell you the symbol right off the top of my head.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Do you have Treasury yields data?
Yeah, the Treasury yields data is a third-party add-on. It's from a company called Cantor, and they do list all of the bills, notes, bonds, expirations, and I believe they update those like every 15 minutes. It's an expensive add-on. I believe it's like $200 a month.
Okay. Okay. Are there any plans to provide bid and ask book data more specifically and more granularity on futures contracts other than just when a trade tick occurs in the market?
Yeah, the bid and ask is going to be on the quote, the current quote. So if you were collecting that data, you could collect those bids and asks, but we do not, as part of our historical data, we do not save bids and asks.
Okay. How can I find out the cost for market profile data?
Well, market profile is a feature of the software. So if, for example, you were to get Market Delta software and you got our data feed, the Market Delta software would turn the data feed into the market profile. There's I think Sierra Charts also does it, Investor RT, but that's a function of the software. So we provide the data. It's just regular data charges. We don't charge extra because you're doing a market profile or anything.
Okay. Do you have data for the FTSE 100?
Yes. Well, I'll back up. We're in the process of adding the LSE exchange.
Okay.
As we speak. We do have it in-house here and a few people beta testing it, and part of that feed includes all of the FTSE indexes. That's supposed to be up and running here June 1st for the public, so I'll say yes, but I don't know how much they're going to charge for those, and it's one of those things that everything looks like it's a go for June 1st, but if there's a bug, it might take a little while to fix it.
Okay. Okay, that's all the questions at the moment. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them. If we don't get any more, then I'll go ahead and close the webinar.
Okay.
Okay, there's a question on, can you show us how to make Benzinga work?
I assume you're a current subscriber and you want to take a look at the Benzinga news?
Yes.
Okay. If your software that you're using now does not have a news module, then you can download our DTN IQ software, and if you go to IQFeed.net and underneath the heading support, if you click on the download button, that'll take you to a screen that you originally used to download the IQ feed, But you can also download the DTN IQ client. And the DTN IQ client, which is our in-house software, it doesn't do much for charting and graphing, but it's got an okay a spreadsheet and the ability to pull up quotes and so on. But then you just download the DTN IQ software, and that'll enable you to pull up the news, whether it's Benzinga or any of the other free news or any of the additional news. We do have premium news that you can add to your service too. Just as a sidebar, if you see one of the news services that you'd also like to try, we can add that for a 7-day free trial.
Okay.
And our tech support group, if you need help, just walking through what I just mentioned, they'll get on the phone with you, whatever software you're using. They know that one has news, that one doesn't, and they can help you. There's no charge to download our DTN IQ software to use for the news feeds.
Okay, so my understanding is it's regularly $30, but it's free for IQFeed users?
Correct, yeah. They say it's either $30 or $35 value, and that's the Benzinga Pro, so it is their more comprehensive news feed.
Okay.
And it's real good. It's real good, especially for stock and futures traders. And there's some forex news that's also included in there, interest rate type beta too.
Okay. Are there any further questions? Okay, I think that is it. Thank you for your time today, Dave. And
oh, my pleasure.
Interesting and looks very cool. So.
Okay.
Can you go back to your contact information, and we'll leave them with your contact info?
I think I can. Let's see.
There you go. Okay, looks like everyone's saying thank you. One guy says he's been using you for 9 years and thinks you all are great.
All right. That's what we like to hear.
All right, thank you for your time. I will go ahead and close the webinar and turn off the recording now.